Euthanasia and the nurse's ethical dilemma. Question: should we support the patient's right to die with dignity or uphold the value of preserving life at all costs? Introduction: euthanasia or mercy killing is the act of deliberately ending a person's life to relieve suffering. As nurses, we often witness immense patient suffering, especially in palliative care. While euthanasia is illegal in many places, the ethical debate continues. History back to the ancient Greece and Rome, where the term derived from the Greek words meaning good death was used to describe a peaceful or gentle passing. Throughout history, the ethics surrounding euthanasia have been debated, with perspectives varying across different culture and time periods. Logical arguments. I believe euthanasia should be ethically permissible under strict conditions, especially when a patient is in unreliable pain and gives informed consent. Inductive reasoning. It is a type of reasoning that involves drawing a general conclusion from specific observations or experiences. The conclusion is probable, not certain. For example, number one, a patient in vegetative state was taken off life support and the family reported relief that the suffering has ended. Example number two, a terminally ill cancer patient in severe pain requested euthanasia to die with dignity. While deductive reasoning, it is a logical process where a general principle, major promise, is applied to a specific case, and minor promise to reach a certain conclusion. For example number one, all action that relieve unnecessary suffering in terminally ill patients are morally permissible. In example number two, euthanasia relieves unnecessary suffering in terminally ill patients. Deductive reasoning is a logical process in which a general statement or principle is used to reach a specific certain conclusion. In ethical perspective, voluntary euthanasia respects a patient's autonomy. Legal perspective, euthanasia is prohibited by law in our country. While medical perspective, all medical procedures intended to relieve suffering are considered palliative care. I use deductive to support rights-based logic and inductive from real-world palliative care experiences. A fallacy to avoid slippery slope, claiming euthanasia will lead to killing patients without consent, is a fear-based fallacy and not backed by regulated systems like in Belgium or the Netherlands. In critical thinking framework, using the Paul Elder model, I applied fairness, empathy, and logic when considering both patient rights and nurse responsibility. Types of euthanasia. Active euthanasia, giving a patient something like a drug to directly cause death and end suffering. For example, a doctor gives lethal injection to a dying patient. Number two, passive euthanasia, stopping medical treatment that keeps a person alive, letting nature take its course. For example, turning off a life support machine. Number three, non-voluntary euthanasia. A person can choose, like in a coma, and someone else make its decision to end life. For example, a family chooses euthanasia for a person in a permanent coma. Number four, voluntary euthanasia. A person asks to die because they are suffering and want to end it peacefully. For example, a patient with terminal cancer requests euthanasia. Number five, involuntary euthanasia. A person is killed without their consent even though they could decide. This is usually illegal, ending someone's life without asking them even if they didn't want it. Number six, assisted suicide. A person kills themselves using help from someone, usually a doctor who provides the means. Example, A doctor gives a patient pills to take themselves to end the suffering. Euthanasia will always be a controversial issue, but as nurses, our duty is to think clearly, reason ethically, and advocate for both life and dignity, even if it's final moments. Question: should we support the patient's right to die with dignity or uphold the values of preserving life at all costs?